This is a piece of pork. I don't think every country cuts their pigs up the same, but this is actually found on the back of the shoulder blade. But it doesn't matter because you could do this with a pork chop. What I'm going to do is cook my piece of pork, take it out, keep it warm, whilst I then cook the mushrooms and make this nice sauce to go with it. I have to do it that way because anything in the way of flavour that remains in the pan after I take out the pork and it's finished then becomes part of this sauce. So the first thing I'm going to do is cook the pork, and you will do that in your frying pan, wherever you are, whatever piece of pork you've got. I think if I had a pork chop, I would probably take it off the bone because it's just nicer to eat. I am going to put some salt on it. I use this particular salt because it's rather nice. It's a fancy blue salt. It does have a good flavour, but really I like the little plastic cap. This is a very humid region and you can't grind salt for very long here. I'm only doing a little bit because I need to not use very much salt in my diet. So I'm just literally going to put it in and cook it. So we'll come back after this is cooked, okay? Okay, this is quite thick on this side, so it's had about 8 minutes in the pan. And whilst it was fried initially, I then cover it. And that way it just sort of steams in its own juices. Quite a simple method, but however it is you like to cook your piece of pork, do so. I suppose you could use an ordinary steak, but I'm changing slightly for steak. This is quite a mild thing. And you can tell when meat's done because it resists you more. That it's still waiting to just finish off with the corner. It's got more of a resistance. It doesn't just it goes doyoing. Best way to describe it, really. This probably would have had 9 minutes on a low light after initially being sizzled on the outside. Best way to describe it, really. Okay. Okay, that's done, I should think. Now, as you can see, I'm lifting it out, I'm putting it on a plate, I'm covering it, and I'm putting it somewhere that I've already used, so it's quite warm in this little place, just to keep it warm. It's not cooking, it's just warm. Now here, I'm putting in a nice pintan stock that I made this morning, and I'm basically washing the base of it to get any of the meat juices from the pork, because that will be very, very nice indeed. I'm putting in very finely chopped tiny onion. I'm also putting in some garlic. Again, that was 3 cloves of garlic, very large garlic, and sliced. And you can see it's starting to sizzle. Now I'm adding, which are 400 grams of mushroom, but that was weighed before I took the stalks out. We don't really want the stalks in our sauce. So put these in over the top, and I don't cover them because we're trying to get rid of any of the juices and reduce it. I'm taking 2 spoons so that I can toss it. This should be an absolutely gorgeous sauce. It transforms a pork chop into something special. No effort. There you are. Everything now is wet. Everything is cooking quite well. I like to add pepper. Remember, I don't add any salt to this because I did add a little bit of salt to the pork. It's done. Now, once we've got a bit further down the line, my silhouettes, these are chives in English. And that's the end of that jar again. This is a Greek yogurt, and I want to tell you how big it is, 150 grams. But you can just use 2 of the small ones, depends how you buy them. It's thick and it's creamy, and this produces more of a stroganoff flavour than a creme fraiche or adding just pouring cream. Now, see, the sauce is starting to colour up and the smells are getting lovely. And it's a very hot flame, you can see that, because I'm just trying to boil off the liquid. So come back in a couple of minutes when it goes almost finished, and we'll add the stroganoffy flavoured we'll do this at the end. I promise I'll show it to you. Alright? Okay, this has now been doing for about 2.5–3 minutes. And as you can see, it's going viscous and the sound is different. Can you hear? It's more like a spitting noise. We want some of the juice left because we want a sauce. Now, let's add this. And this is all it is. Such a simple sauce. We turn our heat off, we're only warming our yoghurt through, and now you have it. I don't cook anything that's difficult, but a lot of the things I cook look difficult. I like to impress, like everyone, but they're not difficult. Very simple food, and everything's from scratch, isn't it? Very simple. Okay, now what I'm going to do, going to take our plate and you can either put it on the plate if I used a bigger one, or you can serve it straight like this, and there you are. If you wanted, you could slice this and lay it all in, but I find it very satisfying, this particular cut, when I push my knife through it, and I don't want that lost, really. There you are, done. A sort of stroganoffy porky thing. Anyone can make this, anyone at all.